Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Dumpster Diaries Podcast. I'm Moses Wartooth. This is Justin Allen. And we've got an extremely awesome episode today.
You know, there's nothing like kickstarting the holidays with some good old racial tension in America.
It's beginning to feel a lot like Christmas.
Oh my God. No, this is coming into the story we want to cover, man, about a gentleman who, has been making the news here lately. It's going to be the David Penny guy. And I'm sure you probably have heard some of the story that's going on about it.
Yeah, very polarizing as always because it's white and black.
Yeah. And, it's always brought down to like some racial stuff. And to be quite honest, I don't see any evidence of this being a racial issue. I don't.
No, it's bullshit.
And I looked at this as objectively as humanly possible. And it wasn't, man. But David Penny, he was in the Marines. He is a white guy. He was on a subway. I believe it was in New York, right?
New York.
And so a gentleman named Jordan Neely actually got on the train and was acting erratic, harassing other passengers, making death threats.
He said, and I quote, "Someone's going to die here today."
Yeah. And so apparently, people tried to basically what the fuck, ignore him or whatever the hell it may be. And so David Penny decided to essentially stop the aggression using the minimum amount of force necessary is what I would consider that, and put him in a chokehold to put him out, and the guy, did submit, did go down. Police did arrive. And then the guy, what a lot of people don't realize is Jordan Neely, the black guy in this situation who was choked out, was alive when he was arrested.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the media has not been releasing that information.
No, because they're keeping that detail.
Yeah, I'd only recently just heard that part. Yeah. Up until then, I thought that Daniel Perry choked him out to his death.
Yeah, or David Penny. You said Daniel Perry.
Daniel Penny.
Yeah, Daniel Penny. So, and it raises a lot of questions, and so the guy did die later. They're trying to link, that being complications to being choked out, all this other stuff, right? And, but after all that, I do just those events right there. We're not talking about the aftermath yet. Those events right there, I don't see any racial bias in that whatsoever in the event that took place. I don't think David Penny was like, hey, I'm going to choke a guy out because he's black. I don't think that fucking happened at all, And, I think it was just as simple as there was a grown man on a train harassing people, making death threats, being belligerent, and threatening at times. And I think a sovereign citizen stepped up to fucking stop that from happening.
And by the way, he was protecting people of all different colors and nationalities because there was a multitude of people on a New York subway. Dude, that has literally everybody.
Yeah, it's like a bag of mixed nuts, dude.
Probably, I'd be willing to bet the white dude was the minority on that.
Probably.
I would be saying so.
But once again, it just comes down to some racial bullshit, And it wasn't that. And I can't harp on it enough, man. Jordan Neely was still alive when the police showed up. He was arrested. He was interviewed by the police alive. It still happened, And I don't know,
I'd like to see his toxicology report.
Yeah, that needs to fucking come out, But now I do want to talk a little bit about the aftermath on it because they brought Penny up on manslaughter charges. Mm-hmm. And they were trying to bury that dude in prison. And I think in New York State, that could have got him, I want to say, what was it, 20 years?
I believe so,
25?
Serious charge.
Yeah. And, but the jury found him, not guilty. I mean, they couldn't come.
Yeah, he was acquitted.
Yeah, he was acquitted on all his charges, man. And
that's exactly what should have happened. He shouldn't have even faced trial.
Shouldn't even been there.
No, he was defending
DA
citizens.
Shouldn't even have picked it up. They should have looked at that like a logical human being and been throw that out the fucking window.
And you know what? Had it have been a black on black crime, that's exactly what would have happened.
Yeah. And the thing is, too, the jury was racially diverse. It was 7 women and 5 men on that fucking panel, right? And they were like, we can't convict this guy. So I don't think it was a racial thing, man.
No.
I
think it was a doing what's right in that situation type thing.
Yeah, dude. Because people are getting too comfortable these days with just acting like fucking idiots, dude. And it's crazy when you see it when someone steps up to the plate and they're like, hey, what the fuck are you doing? Like, they challenge that. Then there's something wrong with that person.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, no, no. You're acting like a fucking idiot. You're being a fool. You're being aggressive. You're
literally
harassing.
Making threats. I mean,
whatever it
you're
may
scaring
be.
people.
Mm-hmm. And I'm not just using this scenario, just all scenarios in general. You see it all the time, you know? And you see when something crazy is happening in public, everyone just kind of ignores it because they don't want to deal with that confrontation.
They all pull out their phones and just film the entire thing.
Yeah. Either they're filming it or they're just sitting there acting like nothing's happening, you know? But then when one dude stands up and is like, no, fuck that shit, then everyone's like, what the fuck is wrong with that guy? That guy's crazy, right? Nah, fuck that.
How dare he try to defend other people?
Dude.
What the fuck?
So, I don't know, but the guy, you know, all charges were dropped on him and stuff. We do have a quick video to watch about it a little bit, just in case there was anything we missed, and so you guys can kind of see what the scene actually looked like.
Yeah,
to be honest.
It is an interesting watch.
Yeah.
Former Marine who put a threatening passenger in a chokehold on a New York subway has been acquitted in the man's death. 26-year-old Daniel Penny was cleared of criminally negligent homicide charges in the 2023 death of Jordan Neely. Penny claimed that he was protecting other passengers on the train when he held Neely in a chokehold for about 6 minutes. A medical examiner determined Neely died due to the compression on his neck, even though Neely was conscious when arrested. Neely's family claims that he was acting erratically because of a mental health crisis.
This has really been a lightning rod.
Yeah. So
mental health crisis or drug use. I still want that toxicology report.
I think if you're making a deal out of it, you're like a deal like this out of that, like you almost owe it to the American people to be like, here is all of the actual evidence. You make your informed decision.
And again, apparently the guy was homeless. So if his family gives a shit about him so much, why wasn't he taken care of by them?
Ding, ding, ding. We have a winner, ladies and gentlemen. And that brings me to my next point. After all this after the trial and all this shit was going on, his family gave a press statement. Okay. Did you happen to watch this shit?
No. What were they on about?
Dude, it was so long, man. I could not stomach sitting through all of it. But like, and it wasn't just his family. Like they had like community leaders, they had like a lawyer, they had representatives from Black Lives Matter there.
Okay, so they were trying to turn this into a George Floyd 2.0.
That is exactly what they did, and I'm not even fucking with you. They called for that. They called for everyone to protest in the streets, to shut it down, like all this other shit. And they named cities across America. They were like Chicago, Detroit. They were like Miami, like all this shit. Well, I mean, I'm not saying those are the exact cities they named, but I remember them naming major cities all across the country. And they literally, I don't know how the guy was related to him, right? But the dude had a fucking shirt on that said Clan Busters, right? With a big ass fucking metal cross hanging from his neck. And he was calling for the people to rise up. And I quote, "It's time for the steppers to step." That man used very particular verbiage to call for violence in America. That's what he wanted. That's what the fuck they're doing. BLM is a criminal organization. We proved it on this fucking show. It's already fucking come out. Everyone fucking knows
They were just looking for another payday.
Looking for another fucking payday, dude. They trying to get that motherfucking
They wanted to
check.
sell more t-shirts, like all
That's
their
all
shit.
it was. And then his family's looking to fucking cash in. They're like, oh,
Of
now we
course,
give a
of
shit
course.
about him. We let him live on the streets. He has all these fucking issues. We never done a goddamn thing for Jordan Neely. We didn't give a fuck. Now they want to be out there saying, chant his name, march in the fucking streets, all this other fucking bullshit, some woe me crap. Fuck that. You are an opportunistic fucking parasite who is taking advantage of an unfortunate fucking situation you could have probably fucking more than likely prevented from ever occurring.
Exactly.
But you didn't. You didn't do it. You sat there like a fucking piece of shit, didn't care about even your own family, and then as soon as some shit fucking hits it on the fucking news, you want to take that as an opportunity to cash a fucking check.
Where you can stand financial
Fuck
gain,
you.
now you care.
God, dude, shut the fuck up. People just need to tell those people what the fuck is up, man.
Yeah.
It's not a fucking racial thing. Look at the fucking evidence in that shit. Clear as fucking day. It is someone acting erratic. Someone use the minimum amount of force necessary, what I feel, to stop the aggression.
And in that video, there was a second dude on top of that guy.
Yeah.
Did you see that shit?
Mhm.
No one questioned, but he was not white. I don't know what he was, but he wasn't white. So then nothing. He was just totally forgotten about.
Dude. And like I'll get like fucking mad about it because if you just watch it objectively, you see exactly what's happening clear as day, dude. And you see these private organizations like BLM, dude, coming in and they're just, God damn it. And people just believe the bullshit they're being told. They're just literally taking advantage of the people they represent.
Oh, yeah.
That's all they're doing, you know? And I don't even know how the fuck that organization is still around, dude.
I don't know. They should be brought up on some sort of fraudulent charges.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole thing was a scam.
What is it, like $80-something million is missing and can't be accounted for?
Yeah.
And that's why the FBI is ripping them a fuck apart from behind the scenes right now. As we speak, that shit is still happening. God damn it. And then they found the top 3 guys just blowing money, buying mansions, all this other shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is like super funny because like they bought mansions in like WASP, like white Anglo-Saxon Protestant communities where it's just like stockbrokers and it's all like just white fucking people. And they're like, yeah, we made it.
You know what they said? They were like, we want to feel safe.
Of course you do. Everyone fucking does, man. So how about you do the right thing and actually try to give a shit about the fucking people you're paid or given money to represent or elected to do
allegedly helping.
And actually want to fucking do it, man.
Yeah.
Because everyone wants to fucking feel safe. Everyone wants to feel fucking secure, man.
Everyone should have that right.
But what they fucking do is they get behind a fucking microphone and they're like, oh, we got a few fucking million people watching this. Let's call for fucking violence in the streets. Time for the steppers to step. And then people just need to start calling it what the fuck it is, man. It is, I would almost put that, God, I gotta be careful with this fucking word. Domestic terrorism. Okay? So you look at what the definition of terrorism is, and you say, you know, essentially using violence or the threat of violence to achieve a political goal. Mm-hmm. Okay? What is that? That is domestic terrorism at its finest. Yeah. Right there. They might not be mailing pipe bombs and shit, but there's more than one way to fucking shake a bush, dude. So, I don't know. But I'm glad the guy got acquitted. I think we're starting to see like the justice system kind of actually start taking a shift where it's like, okay, there's so much scrutiny, there's so many eyes on things now that it's harder and harder for the establishment to get away with fuckery. Because now people are at the point of just burning shit down.
And I mean, that a case like this was just so blatantly obvious of what it really was. There was no denying. And I guess at least at this time, the judicial system
worked.
Yeah, it worked.
Yeah,
it did its job.
It worked.
What a surprise.
Like, holy shit. You know, went through a long period where it seemed like it wasn't fucking working.
Yeah, it was questionable.
So, but yeah, man. I mean, it was I'm sure that guy was fucking worried, or maybe he wasn't. I don't know. I mean, I would be worried because I do feel that guy was innocent, right? But I would be fucking worried more of, is this system about to fuck me when I'm not actually guilty of this?
Yeah.
You know, that's what I would be concerned about. Like, are they going to try to make an example out of me?
Well, it's the same scenario that most police officers have to deal with. Like, whenever they legitimately do the right thing, now, granted, there are times when they do fuck up and it's all on them, but at the times whenever they're actually just doing their job according to protocol and they still get fucked, like, it's always a question.
Dude, I'll even tell you this, man. Like, you know, just me personally, I've kind of been against... Sorry, you got some acid reflux. I was like sitting there like, oh God, it burns. I've just been against like smart tech and stuff like that. Like in my house, like for example, I don't use Alexa, right? I don't have any smart TVs. Pretty old school. So that way I know like when I'm on my property, I'm in my house, there's no way I'm being surveilled, essentially, right?
Except for the phone.
Yeah, except for the phone. And so if you really need to have a conversation, throw it in the microwave. I don't know. But now, man, with the way the world's getting, I will say for what I feel like my own safety and my own peace of mind, my own security, I did actually buy a security system for my house, like to actually record video and audio, even night vision, everything around my house, even parts of inside of my house, to prove that someone did actually break in, right? Like in case I ever had to shoot someone, because I live in Texas and we can still do that. I also got a front and rear dash cam for my car that is motion sensor. Like basically anything in every scenario you could imagine for the most part. I want to make sure that's on fucking camera as much as fucking humanly possible in today's day and age, you know? Because I'm not going to do something fucking stupid that's unwarranted, but like, some fucking bullshit happens, some dude coming at me fucking sideways in the middle of the night, fuck that, dude. If I feel fucking threatened, dude, this is Texas. That's just like a quick fucking pull out the Glock, blam, blam, fucking end of the story, dude, you know, and be like, hey, here's the fucking thumb drive, like, or here's a SIM card, let me know what you guys think, see you, woo!
Call up the family, dinner's on me tonight.
You know, but you almost kind of have to now, you know?
Yeah, to protect your own ass.
Yeah, and then, you know... Yeah, it's something you really need to look into, dude, for fucking sure, man.
And it helps with fucking peace of mind too. I mean, I've had security systems, like I just like watching the cameras, man.
Yeah,
I'm paranoid anyway. I like knowing what's going on.
I don't know, man. It just fucked me up, dude. I read Edward Snowden's permanent record years ago, and it just fucked me up, man. Like anything digital, I was like, oh hell no. And that's why you remember for the longest time, the only social media I really use is Facebook, but for the longest time, I didn't use any social media. I was like, fuck this shit. I barely even text people, dude. I was like, if you want to fucking talk to me, you can call me, and then we can just fucking, if you really want to have like a long drawn out conversation, we'll just get together over like lunch or like have a couple of drinks or something like that. But I ain't dealing with this bullshit. I was fucking scared, dude. It's like, and everyone would be like, oh, you don't have anything to hide. Why should you be scared? I'm like, do you not? It's just an uneasy feeling. Like I don't have anything to hide, but it's like an uneasy.
Do you know how many people that didn't have anything to hide that still got fucked? If they want you to have something to hide, they're gonna find something on you anyway.
Yeah, you know, it just all depends on the kind of government you have.
Exactly.
Because I'm sure the Jews, like prior to the fucking Holocaust, felt like they didn't have anything to hide. You know, and then all of a sudden it was like, wait, what? Yeah. Like, all of a sudden my government is not cool with the way that I live my life. Oh, fuck this, you know? So who fucking knows? But I don't know, man. But I finally caved in and I actually got some surveillance equipment for my house, man. I've just been more of a fucking peace of mind, dude. And especially the world getting crazier and crazier. I was like, man, fuck.
Yeah, man. I mean, I recommend everybody have a security system for the best. And the dash cam is a great idea as well.
Yeah, I was thinking more of like people like fuck with my car or like try to break into it or something like that.
Or hell, even if you get into a fucking accident, it's always better to have video. Yeah. And if it's your fault, you just throw that shit in the trash.
Because it's front and rear, and then there's one on the inside too.
Okay. Oh yeah, so you see the interior of the car.
Everything. Right. So and then I think my next car I'm gonna try to get a fucking Tesla because they have those external cameras on the outside. It just records everything constantly. So it's pretty fucking dope. Have you actually seen the videos of that shit?
No.
Dude, you can't get near a Tesla without them fucking being like knowing that shit. And then you can set it up to where you're notified on your phone too. So it's kind of fucking cool. And then what's crazy is that means you could actually actively use your vehicle as a tool for spying on someone.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You know? You could just make sure it was just parked somewhere on a street or some shit, or insert whatever scenario you can imagine, you know, which is kind of crazy. So, he's like, he used to just be worried about cell phones because of like cameras and shit. Now I'm like, fuck, I got to worry about cars too. Yeah. Like, when can I live a peaceful life in a dry cabin in Montana? I'm just trying to be there. So, but I don't know, man. So yeah, that is the story that, and then we kind of went off the rails with the surveillance stuff coming from the David Penny story. But that's the story of David Penny. I mean, the guy's done. You know, he was acquitted of everything and no charges went through to anything. So
that's good.
It's good, man. I think for once the justice system actually worked and, you know, the government kind of did what it was supposed to.
Yep.
But this wouldn't be a normal episode of the Dumpster Diaries podcast if we didn't tell you a story of where the government wasn't doing something they were supposed to. You know?
Because those stories are way easier to find.
Yeah, you know. But, so if you haven't been paying attention, and we actually fucking called this, once again, I gotta quit saying this shit,
multiple times.
Like, I'm just gonna say it, man. President Joe Biden pardoned his son, Hunter Biden. Anyone with half a brain knew that was going to happen.
Yeah. Day
one. He was going to drag it out, wait as long as humanly possible, and basically the end of his fucking term. It's cool, you know? Knew he was going to do it. Not surprised at all. Like, fuck. I mean, honestly, if any fucking parent, what the fuck would you do in that situation?
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? I mean, for real. Like, if you want to get down to it. So, like, all these fucking liberal, like, libtardian motherfuckers want to sit there and gloat and be like, no, Joe Biden is a man of moral and character. He will let the courts do the right thing and yada, yada, yada. And I was like, you really think that motherfucker has literally a get out of jail free card and isn't going to use that on what? His only surviving son or whatever the fuck? Are you kidding me?
And his presidency's up. He has literally nothing to lose. He's old. He doesn't care. He's done with politics. Like, who fucking cares anymore?
Yeah. Well, you know? Now, let me ask you this. Are you glad that he did it or no?
No.
Okay.
I mean, honestly, dude, I don't care. I want what's best for the fucking country. I don't give a shit about these people and individuals doing their bullshit. Yes, it's fucked up. They should be punished. But at the end of the day, I care about me and what's going on with my shit.
I think at this point, I would agree with you. While I would want to see justice served and everything,
of course,
when it comes to this high level of politics and this huge fucking essentially scandal that's been going on for what,
years,
12 fucking years now, damn near,
since,
like
2014 or 26.
Yeah, dude, long fucking time, dude, and it's time to just let it go. Just fucking move on, dude. You got a new fucking term coming up. Focus on that.
Yeah, just get over this shit and continue on making America great again, man.
Yeah, like we got wars and shit that are starting to break out. We need to fucking figure out what our place, if any, is actually going to be in that war. We need to try to get away from that shit as much as possible. Restabilize the fucking world. Bring down interest rates.
Close that border.
Money, close that fucking border. Put more money in American pockets, dude. And fucking just start pumping that fucking complex that we have that we call the American economy, dude.
Getting that oil flowing too.
Yeah, get that oil flowing,
baby.
That
oil money, baby.
Yo, apparently we got more oil than Saudi Arabia. Let's fucking start pumping that shit. Let's
see it.
I would love nothing than to bankrupt those motherfuckers, dude. Yeah. I'd be like, hell yeah, dude.
Be like, this is for 9/11, bitch.
I actually think it'd be kind of cool if we nationalized oil in America. I'm not saying we have to tell current oil companies to fuck off, but what if the American government actually made its own oil company and provided gasoline and then offered it at a competitive rate, and people could decide if they wanted to purchase that? You could, and then basically just do what the Saudis do, and then you just get a fucking check. Like the American people get a fucking check every year. It just starts coming back to us, and that just goes for oil and gas sold domestically and then foreign as well. So I don't know, something to think of. I'm sure there's a million laws on why that can't happen, but it would be interesting to see, you know, because in some weird way, I kind of feel like it's America's. We should get something out of that, or at a minimum, I mean, you could pump it into like natural parks and stuff like that, or securing our borders, like things we need. Healthcare might be a fucking good one, you know, whatever it may be. Green tech, fuck it, you know, who gives a shit? But I don't know, man. But we do have a clip to watch about President Biden pardoning his son, Hunter. So you roll that clip and we'll see what they say, and then we'll talk a little bit about it.
I go to Democratic Congressman Greg Landsman from Ohio, what he makes of all of this. Well, what about it, Congressman? A lot of people in your party are saying that this was not the thing to do, or at least the way to go about doing it, since you denied you would even entertain this for at least a dozen times when asked. What do you think of it?
Well, a couple of things. One is I'm a dad, so I get the dad piece as a father. You know, I'd do anything to protect my children, my son, my daughter. You know, I suspect you're the same. All of us, you know, I think feel that way. But as somebody who, you know, cares about public service and reestablishing trust and credibility, it's as I mentioned, it's a setback. It doesn't help those of us who are really trying hard to get people to you know, believe in government and elected officials again.
He looks scared.
Yeah, dude, those eyes every time, man.
On the day with my kids, Congressman, but I digress.
Looks like he's aged a lot recently.
In the right place. I just wonder how this could.
Because like 5 years ago, he looked way younger.
Yeah.
He said this so many times, and everyone fully aware he was saying it as a dad, then as a dad now. Do you think he was just stringing us along?
I have no idea. I mean, I think it sounds like he was home or with his family on Thanksgiving, and you know, that's got to be rough for a couple of days of being hounded by your son saying, "Hey, I want you to do this." That's a tough position. Look, I treat everyone the same. I didn't like when Trump did this, when he pardoned you know, people who were close to him, or you know,
Kodak Black
and Kirshner's.
He pardoned Kodak Black?
And now Kirchner's going to be the ambassador to France. I don't think people
homeboy
politicians do.
I don't remember the actual charge, but he did.
Doesn't this have a sort of a unique spin to it, Congressman, in that this is like a, you know, an all-encompassing pardon? It goes all the way back almost 10 years to, you know, obviously before, you know, the association with Burisma, of course, the Ukrainian energy concern. So it wipes out a lot of potential sins that could still come up.
Yeah, so that is unique to this, and I think that's makes it even more problematic. I I mean, one of the questions that the White House should be wrestling with is, if this is about ending political retribution and the nonsense around people using positions of power, the justice system to go after their political enemies, pardon a whole bunch of people. Put a bunch of people that might be on both sides, that might be, targets of political retribution, because I do think the American people want to be done with it, whether it's Biden doing it or if Trump starts to mess around with this stuff too. I just think people want them focused entirely on them, which, seems pretty simple.
Yeah, I like to think that that's kind of the consensus.
Yeah, I mean, he said pretty much what we were talking about.
Just let it go, man.
Yeah.
Like it's been dragged. Because realistically, at that high level, like at that elitist level, no one is ever going to prison.
No
one is ever going to prison.
That's the thing. Like, what punishment are they actually going to receive?
Yeah.
And is it going to be worth all of our time, tax dollars, resources? No, it's not. It doesn't matter.
And it's like even the shit with Hillary Clinton, like a few years back, man. Everyone was like, lock her up. She's going to go to prison. All that. Not for 1 second. Not 1 fucking second did I ever think that bitch would set foot in a jail cell.
Hell no.
Fuck no, dude. You'd have better luck catching a fucking unicorn in the wild than having that bitch walk into a prison. Like, that shit ain't happening, dude.
You'd have better luck being her pool boy and actually retiring alive.
Not getting suicided.
Yeah.
But, yeah, dude, that shit's weird, man. It's like 20-something people have very suspicious fucking deaths around the Clintons, dude. Like, I bet they pay well, though.
They better.
Like, it's
like, do they got a high turnover rate?
Yeah, dude, like, no shit, man. So, I don't know, man. But I think it's good for the country, man. I think, as long as people can accept it, it is what it is, like, fucking move on or whatever. Now, what's gonna make me wonder is there is, like, presidential immunity and stuff that does occur. But some of this shit tied to all the Ukraine stuff occurred. I don't know. I mean, I guess Biden was vice president, but there was shit going on whenever Biden wasn't in office.
Yeah, there was shit
years.
During Trump's presidency.
Do you think Trump turns around and pardons Biden during that time?
I sure as shit hope not. I don't think Trump needs to pardon anyone, but I don't think he should directly go after anyone either.
Yeah.
Like, if it's already on the books, let it ride, but I don't think he should do what they were trying to do with him and basically just fucking persecute him the entire time he was doing anything.
Well, I think if Trump can just be like, fuck it, this shit's over, move on from it, and actually just, like, roll with America and just actually succeed and, like, stabilize the world, especially if he can fucking end that shit in Ukraine, be like, look what the fuck I did. Like, go fuck yourself. You know what I mean? That is the best case scenario.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of people changing their votes for a long fucking time right there, man. And because, I mean, it's no fucking secret too, man. The Democrats, they have become the warmongering party.
Oh, yeah. They really have, like, the parties have basically reversed roles. Yeah, like, back in the day, it was a Republican, like...
Yeah, I mean, that douchebag from South Carolina, Lindsey Graham, he still fucking keeps calling for war every 5 seconds. Every 5 seconds, he's just like, we need to get in war with Iran, we need to bomb them, show them who's the boss. And he gets really mad anytime his sexuality comes up. Because he's like some, like, fucking hellfire and brimstone, like, Baptist.
He's like, would a gay man want war?
Yeah. But the thing is, he's never been married and doesn't have any children. And there's been, like, several people that have come forward that have been like, yeah, he's a little different behind closed doors, But he stands up as, like, this white, ultra-conservative, like, Christian and stuff. And it's just, he's voted against any kind of, like, gay rights and shit.
You get a couple of bottles of Boone's Farm in him and he starts getting a little handsy.
Yeah, he starts to watch them banana hammocks drop. He's like, hell yeah, let's do it. What if he has, like, some fucked up name, like Party Boy or Sissy Boy or some shit that he has, like, tattooed on his ass or something?
Hey, it could very well could be there.
Or he has an OnlyFans where he wears a mask. Just getting railed out by dudes or some shit. I don't like Lindsey Graham. I mean, it's just, I think he's the definition of a warmonger, and I think he's done more harm than good in America, to be quite honest. And it's time for him to get the fuck out.
And I'm sure all it would take is one simple look at where his investments are to kind of see what he's pushing those agendas.
I'm going to take a shot in the dark and say he's really heavy in Lockheed, Boeing, and Raytheon.
Yeah, I bet you're right.
Probably a lot of BlackRock in there too, making sure that's good. Probably went real heavy on Pfizer, back in 2019 or somewhere around there. So, 2020, 2019. But, Yeah, I mean, for me, Lindsey Graham is right up there with like the Chuck Schumers. I mean, they're different parties, Republican, Democrat, but like they're just old school establishment guys who are clearly corrupt as fuck and use it to their own advantage. Yeah. They need to go. You know, I'm not saying they can't be effective and that they're not actually intelligent and actually understand what's going on, because to be able to play and manipulate a system, you have to first understand that system.
Oh yeah, nobody's questioning their intelligence.
So
we're saying they're crooked as fuck.
Yeah, I don't believe for a second that anyone who's sitting in there and actually stays in office for a few years is an idiot.
No.
You know, like AOC, when she got elected, I think she was an idiot. She was a fucking bartender in New York. She was a fucking goddamn moron. She didn't know shit. That's why she was loud as fuck for the first year or 2 years. And then what happened? She got real fucking quiet, because what happened is she got pulled into a fucking back room and they were like, listen here, bitch, this ain't your fucking dog and pony show. Like, you're going to fucking step in line and you're going to do what the fuck the party wants, what the establishment wants. You're going to shut the fuck up and you're going to stop screaming that socialism shit because it cost them a bunch of fucking goddamn seats. So she got on fucking board, started fucking knuckling down, and now she actually knows what the fuck she's talking about. Now she's pushing an agenda I don't agree with by any means.
Oh yeah, for sure. I can't stand her.
I mean, it became her job. That became her existence, like 24/7, you know? Those people aren't fucking idiots. As much as they might try to portray themselves to be, and it's fun to make fun of them and shit like that, they're not. Now, I'm not saying they're like all like high-level sociopathic motherfuckers who know everything and everything, but something got them in that seat.
Yeah.
You know, and then they're able to manipulate that system. I mean, it's not an easy task. It's a big beast to fucking rein in, you know, because you're dealing with the social aspect of your peers. You're dealing with like foreign entities. You're dealing with financial aspects, economies, all this other shit. And then in the middle of it, you have all this shady shit, all these backdoor deals and all this other crap. And in the middle of it, you're trying to squeeze out a nut for yourself.
Yeah. And you're always being watched, so you have to tiptoe around any illegal, shady shit that you're doing.
Like every conversation you have.
Yeah, you have to treat it like you're being recorded.
Yeah.
Because you probably are.
But then you still have to be able to push and like
a and actually get your shit.
It's kind of fucking crazy. It sounds exhausting, honestly.
Yeah.
You know, I'm starting to think it's not worth fucking a couple $100,000 a year. You know, like whenever they get fucking paid, I'm like,
well, they get way more than that.
They're getting it on the back end, so it don't fucking matter. Like those 3 congressmen that fucking dumped all their stocks right before they get that fucking private briefing about COVID and what it really was and shit. Nothing fucking happened to them, right? Wasn't Marjorie Taylor Greene one of them? I think she might have been one of those.
I don't know.
It was 3 of them, yeah, and it was like funny because they proved it. They were like, they literally got out of that meeting and like within an hour they had all their stocks sold. And they were like, and they try to even pawn it off like insider trading doesn't happen on Capitol Hill. It's like, yeah, right, dude. Like, come on.
Like, that's where that shit originates. Like, that's their bread and butter.
Yeah. But yeah, man, since we're in the political realm and shit, I mean, we can't talk about Joe Biden without talking about Donald Trump, right?
And this time you got to win.
Hey, you got to fucking win. So wins starting to seem to go in his fucking favor.
Yeah,
man, right now.
Yeah.
Now, this is an interesting one because, what is it? Is it ABC News?
Yes.
ABC News is having to pay Donald Trump, essentially pay him, $15 million for a defamation lawsuit, actually.
Yeah, because they lied.
They did lie.
It was George Stephanopoulos, right?
Yeah, we're about to find out, too, because we got a video. You want to go ahead and just play this video and then we'll watch it, man? Let's do that.
Yeah. Oh, ABC.
Eric, thank you. We have breaking news. ABC News and George Stephanopoulos have reached a settlement with President-elect Trump in his defamation lawsuit. The network agrees to pay $15 million as a charitable contribution to Trump's presidential library. ABC and Stephanopoulos will also issue statements of regret as an editor's note to the March 2024 article and television segment that prompted Trump to file the lawsuit earlier this year. Trump sued Stephanopoulos after he asserted in an interview that Trump was found, quote, liable for rape in a civil case, despite the fact that a jury actually determined Trump was liable for, quote, sexual abuse.
Nice.
Hey, at least they finally, they didn't apologize for any of the COVID misinformation, but at least they got him on this.
Well, this is also really important, okay? Because they talk about it's the verbiage.
Yeah.
And this is how people get this is how mainstream media manipulates masses. It doesn't seem like much. You'd be like, oh, here's rape, and then basically
sexual misconduct,
right? And you may think they'll eventually bleed those lines into believing that it's one and the same. And it's not. It's a very big fucking
And that's how they would get around never having to admit that they were wrong.
Yes.
They would just, the next time, just say that, even though the damage has already been done.
Yep. And so it's good that they're being held accountable for that or whatever, you know. But yeah, man, I mean, $15 million, that ain't a small nut, dude.
Yeah.
And then maybe like ABC is just like, fuck it, it's over. Like, I bet a lot of those fucking executives are just like, God damn it. Like, here we are,
They're
man.
like, we had a good run.
It's fucking over, dude. This shit is fucking dead. I wouldn't be surprised if some of those companies start going bankrupt after a little while, man. Because who the fuck watches that shit, man?
Very minimal people, dude. And I guess as far as like an age bracket, I can't see anyone under the age of 30 watching like news on TV.
I don't know anybody that does it. And the only reason I watch it, well, I have my own reason. I actually have like really interest in some whatever global affairs.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
also like a lot of it is because of this show. And then anything that deals with like the presidential election time. So like that was like any election shit. So if it's outside of elections, like some foreign issues that I'm really concerned about.
And the reason
like I don't watch it.
we watch a lot of news clips because we can actually use them on the show.
Yes.
So,
But like when we're watching the news, like it's like we're sitting down and we're going through it. Like, okay, here's this, and this. Like I'm not just laying in my bed on like a Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Like, oh, let me turn on CNN.
yeah. And another thing is we're not committed to any one fucking station. We'll watch CNN, Fox, we'll watch literally all of them and then piece together our own fucking assumptions of what actually happened.
Yeah. Well, because we think they're all trash anyway. So
Well, none of them are true.
we just assume we're being lied to. Like
yeah, I mean,
straight up.
that's-
Like it's like, all right, you know.
I
Which
mean,
is
we've
what
been-
just happened
Dude,
right
we've been
there.
proven time and time again that that's correct. So,
Yeah.
lying to us.
And it's like crazy because it's independent content creators that are coming out to be the voice of truth and reason.
Yeah, dude, literally my legitimate news sources are all just independent journalists now.
And it's like we try to like research our stuff. Like I'm sure we've misspoke or maybe got some numbers wrong before in the past. I mean, we've got 100 hours of fucking content out there, so I'm sure something has happened, right? But we really genuinely do our best to make sure it's as factual as humanly possible.
I mean, believe it or not, we're not perfect.
I know it's hard to believe.
I know.
Sorry to let you guys down. But, it turns out we were mere mortals ourselves. But yeah, man, you know, and we try to do our best with it, and we're never like nefarious, like trying to put a spin on it. Like we'll just present the facts like, as we see them, you know, and
we're pretty open about stating what our opinions are and not
versus
trying to portray that as straight facts.
Yes,
So
we
that's a
do
big
separate
difference.
that. Like, what do you think about this? Like, not, well, what's going on here? It's just like, well, actually, you know,
Yeah.
it's like fucking because that. Dude, they're really starting to bleed the opinions with facts on that shit. I just fucking hate it. Mainstream media has gotten super trash. There used to be a time in this country where it was really valued, and now fucking it just seems like it's just a goddamn tool that's being weaponized by the federal government. You know,
I'm happy to see it on its way out.
yeah.
So.
You know, I would like it to always be there, but I think it's very important that they get beat into submission and become as small as humanly possible, up until the point that they almost cease to exist. When they get right to that point, then. And only then will they start to do the right thing, and then they can begin to build true credibility back. But it has to be I'm talking like 95% of the labor force has to be laid off. Like they have to shut fucking offices down. Like they can't get any more lines of credit. Like it comes down to like 6 dudes in a fucking single fucking room. They're not even in a room. Like they're
in a bunker.
They're in our bunker, you know, chained up.
They're renting this shit out.
Yeah, you know.
They're renting studio
And then,
time.
and only then can they begin to get the goddamn credibility they deserve. Or start to build it back, you know. I think that is what happens. I mean,
But yeah, the mainstream media is now like a secondary news source as far as I'm concerned. Like they're not the top.
it's more a novelty entertainment thing.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
oh, okay. Because I know like fucking like Dave Smith, the podcaster, like that dude, he does crazy amounts of research, and he knows all these fucking news anchors and journalists and shit. He knows them personally. He's worked with them and shit, and he'll put them on fucking blast and blow their shit up. He's been doing a lot longer, but I can't even get remote. I can't even, like, some of the shit he does, I don't even think about, you know? And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Now, don't get me wrong, he's probably swimming in some different fucking pools and is always surrounded by that shit.
For
you know
sure.
what I mean? But yeah, dude, like, I mean, he's a solid dude, man. But David Smith, man, he really he'll tear a new asshole on that shit, man. And my thing is, he holds mainstream media, like, legitimately accountable. You know, he doesn't let them get away with dick, you know? And his voice is getting louder because he's been on the Joe Rogan Experience quite a bit and stuff. And I think he's also done like some stand-up comedy and shit like that too. But he's his primary job, man, is he's a political commentator, man. Like he goes into that shit, you know. So covers that shit. But yeah, man. I don't know with all this. I think it's a good thing. I think it's starting to come out, man. It's getting harder and harder to bullshit people. Is what I'm saying.
And at least now we have, like, you can choose to believe the bullshit, but if you don't want to, there are other avenues that you can do your own research now. And I think that part is at least getting a little bit easier.
Yeah.
While they are trying to censor it on, like, the average top Google search result page, if you really want to dig, you can dig.
Yeah. Yeah. Just go on Bing.
Yeah.
You'll be all right, you know? Like, I've started using shit like that. And they're like, what the fuck? You find all kinds of crazy shit on there, dude.
Bring back Ass Jeeves.
Yeah, a little butler sitting there and shit. Be like, hell yeah, I knew Jeeves would come back. Never fail me. You know? But, yeah, I really feel like I like to call it the age of truth, man. Like, I really think we're entering a new age. Like, there was the information age that started occurring, like, with the dawn of the internet, right? Mm-hmm. And then that's when the bullshit started, right? It was like, oh, we get this new toy, we can do all this shit. And now you got to go through a few decades of that. And now we're getting to the end of that bullshit where everyone's starting to see it for what it fucking is. And now this is where true fucking change starts to occur. And I really do think we're hitting the age of truth, man. And I think any of these, like, fuck it, I think governments, politicians, you name it, private corporations, all this shit. You got skeletons in your closet? Dude, you might want to start fucking cleaning house now.
And now, and we've had the internet for this long. Now AI is becoming more and more commonplace. So if we could just get an unbiased large language model, that would really help us out.
Yeah, like that would actually advance the human race.
Yeah.
And be like, cool, you know? But the only problem is like, don't those things usually go to like some extremist viewpoints very quickly or some shit whenever they're released to like the public?
It depends. I mean, as a rule, they tend to lean heavily to the left.
Do they really?
Yeah.
I thought it was more to the right.
No, because perfect example would be like you would Google President Biden and it would list a whole bunch of positive shit, and you would ask Trump and it would be like, I'm not here to talk about political points of views.
Oh, okay, yeah, I got a flip flop. Yeah, that's what it was, man. Yeah, I'm stupid.
But
I didn't sleep a lot last
night. But that shit's they're working on that and it's getting better. And then plus with Elon still fucking Sam Altman on that shit from them going public and trying to turn a profit on his company. So yeah. that should be something's gonna come of that.
Yeah, any AI shit that actually comes out and explodes and shit and does anything, I just hope that Elon Musk is behind it. Because like at this fucking point, he's the only big tech dude that I actually trust, man.
Yeah.
Like all the rest of them, even though like Zuckerberg seems like he's coming around.
He really does. I'll give him credit. I still don't trust that motherfucker, but I will give him a little bit of credit.
But Elon Musk, man, I mean, I trust that dude to do the right thing even when nobody's fucking looking. I think so, man. You know, that dude, if he had any fucking skeletons, that shit would have already been out, man.
Oh yeah.
You know, like for real, dude. You know that motherfucker changes his cell phone every week?
Damn.
How annoying is that?
It's
like he has this huge security team. His security is stronger than like the presidential security and shit. Apparently, this is what I heard. I saw some infographic shit about it on YouTube, and they were like going through and breaking it down. Like it is insane because he is actively targeted more than the president of the United States.
That's not surprising. I mean,
yeah. So, and I'm not talking like assassination attempts.
Yeah. Like
information, mm-hmm. corporate espionage, ability to blackmail, things like that, you know.
Well, because he's worth more. Like
he's worth more money. The technology.
Elon's got to be like the fucking pinnacle of any like.
He's fucking Tony Stark.
Dude. Like anyone would want that shit.
It's Tony Stark, man. He's literally fucking Iron Man, you know. Like once he fucking flips, you see that motherfucker was talking some crazy shit about what was it? He said he estimated in 20 years there will be more robots in America than humans.
Damn.
In 20 years. Because he's got all this fucking robotic shit that he's building through like Tesla and stuff. But he said like even his competitors and shit, he said in 25 years, there will be more robots in America than humans.
So then it's going to have to be like that Surrogate movie where like we just sit at home and do nothing and the robots do the jobs.
Yeah. Some shit like that.
They'll have to by that point we'll like universal income is the only thing that's gonna make sense.
Or be like fucking iRobot or some crap.
Yeah.
You know? Or maybe, I don't know, dude. It's hard to wrap your head around a world like that, man. Because it's like, at that point, does money even matter?
Yeah, because like, what are you going to do? Because there'll be no reason to work. And I think, well, which again, another step on that is I think literally we'll just be sitting there with our fucking virtual reality headsets and nothing real will matter. It'll just be all in the world and it'll be like digital currency, digital everything, man.
Fuck that, man. I'm getting my dry cabin in Montana. Dude.
Oh, I mean, there's gonna be the resistance, but the average human being, 100% fat as fuck on a goddamn VR headset, not doing anything, can't move out of a chair.
Dude, fuck it.
I mean, look at our rate of obesity as it is, and we don't even have virtual reality. Like,
and what does that do to the human race? Like, think from like an evolutionary perspective.
We're done, dude. I mean, Japan's already having issues with reproduction, like because they're not procreating. Yeah. So, like, we're soon to follow that shit.
I saw some shit. They had some financial incentive for like foreigners to come over and like basically marry Japanese women, like have children with them.
I know. I know Iceland has that. I believe. There's other. I know there, maybe Switzerland. I don't know. I know there's European countries that do that also, but
it's wild, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what the fuck?
I'm planning my vacation.
Let's do it. You're about to have a Japanese wife or an Icelandic wife.
Fuck that, dude. I like Iceland. I'll go there.
Iceland's cool. You did go there. What, was it last summer? Summer before last. 2 years ago. That's cool, man. Like, I remember you sending me some pictures from that shit, and I was like, holy shit, dude. Like, that looks like a movie.
Yeah, man. I saw an active volcano. Like,
so wild, dude. It was like, what the fuck? You know? That's when you realize how small you actually are on this earth. Yeah. Man. You're just like, oh, yeah, there are forces that you can't even fucking deal with, man, you know? Like, we just got a real small place in it, man. But anyway, dude, I don't know. You know, so I think that shit happening with ABC News is fucking good. I think it's good that they had to cough up some fucking money, because in this kind of game, that's what really fucking actually seems to influence people and get them to shut the fuck up, because you can't kill these motherfuckers realistically. You know what I mean? So you can't beat their ass or anything like that. So you got
the Clintons.
Yeah, you gotta threaten their fucking pocketbooks. You got to hit them where it hurts. That's you know, so that's a good way to kind of bitch slap those guys in line, and maybe they'll shut the fuck up and think twice about what they say. Because while I do believe in the freedom of speech, absolutely, unequivocally, beyond a shadow of a doubt, whether it's something I like to hear or don't like to hear, the reality is you're still accountable for what you say.
Especially if, like, okay, if you're on mainstream media news, if your name is George Stephanopoulos, people believe that guy. He is supposed to be a credible source. So whenever shit, like, his words hold a different value than somebody else's.
Sure.
So if someone hears him, they're gonna have a tendency to just believe that guy.
Yeah. It's weird how that works, but it is fucking true, man. It is absolutely true. Like, you have like this moral response, like obligation to society to actually be truthful and genuine in what you say when you achieve that level of status.
If you're trying to portray honesty. Yeah. It has nothing to do with fucking comedy or satire or any of that cool shit.
Because like we strictly post our shit as comedy and satire. Like, and we do really good at, you can tell like when it's bullshit, when it's not. And like, honestly, like our hour-long show we do every Monday, it's pretty legit. I mean, we just talk shit, like, but it's going over facts and what's happening. We bullshit,
but there's no bullshit.
Yeah. Now you want to get in our shorts?
Bullshit.
We just make up some shit in those things, man. That's fucking a lot of gold in there, man. Like, you know, I've said some shit I've even forgotten, seen that later, and been like, God damn! I said what? Hell no. And then it's alarming how many people actually believe that shit. We would try to make it as ridiculous as possible too, and people would still just be like, no. Like, of course, dude. Like, I don't know. Go through, watch those fucking shorts, man. You'll see exactly what we're talking about very fucking quickly. But I don't know, man. There is one more topic.
Speaking of fucking technology and AI and all this other crazy shit, it ties in well.
All goes together, man. And this is kind of crazy because the government's not really saying anything about this.
Yeah.
But particularly the state of New Jersey, they're having a problem with fucking drones right now. If you haven't seen that shit on the news, and we ain't talking about some buy it from Walmart, give it to your teenage kid drone. All right. Like, these things are the size of fucking SUVs. Like, these are like full on aircraft and shit. There's tons of rumors and speculation going around. The government's not really acknowledging, they're not really doing shit, which kind of tells me that either they don't know what the fuck it is, or they're in on it, one of the two. But there's a lot of shit. And to me, I'm I'm calling the card. It's not fucking aliens. It ain't that. That tech is reasonable within ourselves to fucking do. You can clearly see propellers on the shit and stuff, but it's just fucking weird. And there's a lot of it. And they're gaslighting like all the residents of New Jersey to be like, no, that ain't going on. Don't worry.
Swamp
about
gas.
It. Yeah, swamp gas. You know. So I don't know, but we do have a video we can watch about it, man. We'll roll that and then we'll talk a little more about it.
It's interesting.
Look at it.
Frustration building with each new drone sighting across the Northeast.
And seems like there's multiple drones all over this airport tonight, man.
The FAA forced to slow traffic at Stewart International Airport Friday night north of New York City because of multiple reports of drone sightings in the area. Mayor Eric Adams saying his team is taking the reports of drones in the region seriously.
We're going to have an immediate response. We're getting ready to check. We're getting ready to look into some new innovative ways of, if need be, to take down drones with the proper permission from the FAA.
And New York's Governor Kathy Hochul saying this has gone too far, demanding that the Biden administration step in by directing additional federal law enforcement to New York and the surrounding area. In Ocean County, New Jersey, the Sheriff's Department launching its own industrial drone after numerous reports of sightings in the area. One deputy reporting roughly 50 drones coming in over the ocean.
The facts are that there are very big objects in the sky. The fact is nobody, that's just concerning to us, is nobody has seen them land or take off.
Reports of drones flying near a naval weapons station in New Jersey as well.
And I did talk to the commander there. His men are seeing it right there at the base. Are you kidding me? A munitions depot of that caliber, and these drones are hovering in close proximity to it?
So on a call with reporters, officials from a wide range of agencies, including the FBI, Department of Homeland Security, the FAA, a Joint Chiefs of Staff official confirmed those drone sightings at the naval station, but added that they do not believe that they are from a foreign actor or have malicious intent. The question people still have is, how do you know that? So for more on this, let's bring in Jeffrey Thompson. He is the CEO of Red Cat Holdings. The company supplies sophisticated drone technology to the U.S. military. Jeffrey, what a perfect person to have talk about this today. I'm sure your phone is blowing up and you're getting questions all about this. Right off the bat, I'll just ask you, because you're in this world, what do you think is going on?
Well, I'll say it's probably not our adversaries. I don't know, any adversary that would actually use proper FAA lighting to display where they are. It would be way too easy to shoot them down. They're slow moving. They're big.
That's a good point.
I definitely take adversary off the table right away.
That's interesting. I don't believe I've heard that before. So thanks for that. When you look at these videos, and I'm sure you've seen what a lot of people have seen online, can you identify what type of drones these are and what they might be capable of? Because one of the things that people were initially concerned about is that they were, not the drone that you buy at Best Buy or something. They're the size of cars, some of these.
Yeah, they do look much larger than a consumer drone. Red Cat has two products. We've been accused all week of possibly being the culprit. We have the only commercial drone swarm available for 80 drones that can be launched by a single operator. We also have a flight weight 130, which is a bigger drone that has very long flight time. And these drones that you're seeing in these videos have very long flight time. I can tell you right now, it is not us. Please stop calling me. So there's a lot of that they're big. The fact that they're large, that's the only thing that seems really odd to me, as I'm actually trying to figure this out. But they should have remote ID if they're already flying with proper lighting. All drones are required by law to have a remote ID. And if you want to be a DIY investigator, you could always get a scanner product that's free on free apps. And you can see if they're broadcasting down to you if you're near those drones, and you could become the investigator. I'm not close enough to where it's all happening, but it's pretty simple to see if they're broadcasting a remote ID that's required by law.
But you are close enough to the whole world that this is happening in, and what I'm hearing from you is what we are hearing from the federal government, that you're not worried that it's a foreign actor because they wouldn't come in using FAA lighting. But still, we don't know what it is. It could just be regular folks operating.
What if that's what they want us to think?
Could be that, man. I mean, those sneaky Chinamen are at it once again. You can't trust anything they do, man.
I mean, so if it's not our adversaries, then who the fuck is it? Like, who is it?
Yeah.
And
where the fuck did they come from? You got like this major fucking company being like, that ain't us.
Yeah.
And they're like, what sounds like to me, one of the few companies that can actually make shit to that size.
And they're saying it ain't us. Like, and they're flying over military weapons bases. Why are they not immediately shot down? If it was a fucking civilian dude, that shit would be shot down.
Boom! Like fucking.
Like if I was to fly a fucking drone over any military installation, what would happen?
Well, maybe it's like a mass surveillance thing that's like a clandestine thing they're popping off. So like the feds are in on it, like or basically our intelligence services. Because that was some things I was reading online. Like it's some new like. Basically, they have like new like X-ray tech, all kinds of shit, like mass surveillance shit, where it's like they can ping data from every single cell phone. They can get like outline of grids of cities and shit. Like they can basically create like a 3-dimensional real-time map of what is happening inside of a city. You know, so maybe it's something like that. Because I would like to highly doubt that many drones flying in our airspace over sensitive fucking regions on our soil.
They're just allowed to do that?
Just allowed to do it.
That makes no sense.
Doesn't make any goddamn sense.
Even even the little Chinese space balloon thing, like that eventually got blown down. Like
yeah, eventually. Yeah. Well, maybe. We also know the government is actually very incompetent at times. So it could be. But also, like, say hypothetically it was China or Iran or whatever, right? I mean, here's the fucking thing, right? That sheriff's office literally said that they launched their own drones and they observed them coming in from over the ocean.
That was
you know. And if I was a foreign adversary and I was going to do that just for surveillance, right? I would have every product look like it was made in America.
Yeah, because if it qualifies with FFA regulations, that would be like because like that dude initially said, it qualifies, so it can't be foreign. That's their number one mistake. Like
I would make it all look legit, and even if you shot it down, it looked like that shit was made from Kentucky.
Yeah, be like I bought it off Amazon.
Yeah, you know, that's what I would fucking do.
But if it's coming from what, like. Because I don't think
it could have been launched off ships.
That was what I was going with, because I don't think drone technology has advanced that far. I mean, like the large ones, yeah, they can travel some distances, but I don't like the smaller ones. I don't think they can do that time.
Yeah, I mean,
and they said they haven't seen them land or take off.
Yeah,
so they're just hovering there, and then
they're coming from a boat, man.
Like, shouldn't they? I don't know, man. I would think they would be able to like attach some sort of a tracking device to those things and like follow them
like
back.
Batman that shit.
Yeah.
Boom. Yeah, and see where it goes.
Spear gun. Spear gun a fucking air tag up there.
Just hook it up to like a fucking vest.
Yeah,
dude. Take you off across the ocean. Wake up in fucking Iran.
Yeah.
You're like, whoa.
Shit, dude, the ones that are as big as a fucking car, I guess. I mean, I'm sure they probably really could support a human body.
Rip your fucking chest out your back, dude. And you're like, you know? Holy shit, like a fucking some Wile E. Coyote shit going on right there with a Roadrunner or some crap, you know? But I don't know. I mean, one or two things. It is either a new type of surveillance program that the government is trying out. Probably got some DARPA shit in there, you know what I mean? Maybe some intelligence services, CIA, NSA, all that crap, right? Probably more than likely what it is. If not, if it's an adversary, you know that fucking raises a whole lot of questions there, man.
Yeah, like if it's an adversary, then the only conclusion I'm left with is the Biden administration is just like, not my fucking problem. Yeah. Like we're rolling through January 20th, and they're we'll just blame that shit on Trump.
And then, I mean, you look at that whole like Chinese spy balloon where they said it was a weather balloon or whatever, and there's multiple ones as well. We knew about it.
Yeah.
They let it go for days.
The only
to observe it
until it got spotted by the public, and then they were like, "Oh shit, we have to do something about it."
Yeah. So that could be very well what the fuck we're seeing right now, where they're like, "Oh, let it happen for a little while. Let's observe. Let's see what we can learn about it." Because there is that, you do have to try to figure out what the fuck you can, because you don't want to just obliterate all your evidence and then not have anybody. Well, where did it come from? I don't know, Timmy. Maybe if you didn't blow it to fucking 8 million pieces, we might have been able to figure it out.
You got lost across the fucking ocean floor.
So I don't know. It could be something like that going on. Will we ever know what they are? Probably not, because the thing is, if it was a company or something like that in America, that would have already came out. They would already own up, be like, nope, this is us. This is all going on or whatever. But no.
Yeah, because things like that, no one ever fesses up to that.
Yeah. That's some secret shit right there.
For sure.
And so now, is it us or is it them? That's what you got to figure out. But it ain't aliens, I'm telling you.
No.
I'm deep in the alien trenches, man. That ain't alien tech.
Dude, aliens don't give a damn about FAA requirements.
Oh, make sure you got your lights on.
Our adversaries, they might do it to play a trick, but the aliens, they ain't got to play that.
Especially if they don't want their shit shot down.
Yeah.
You know? Like, what if they just literally follow our rules? They're like, oh, we're fine. Don't worry about it. You know? But I don't know, man. So it's getting weird out there. I mean, one thing to know is when Trump gets in office in January, shit like that is getting shot out of the sky immediately. Mm-hmm. Probably before it even gets over the fucking water. And the thing is that what gets me, dude, is like, if it came in over the water, they knew on radar that's what the fuck was happening.
Yeah, they were like, what's coming here?
Yeah. Dude, we picked up aliens on that shit. Do you think we're going to pick up a fucking drone? Like from like fucking China or some shit, you know?
Got the Temu logo on it.
Yeah, dude. They all got TV logos coming through.
Dude, they're literally just delivery drones. They're not.
Dude, what if it's a war between Amazon and Temu and it's literally just like dropping bombs with like drones and shit? And it's just
but it's like cheap Chinese bullshit. Like.
Hey, you thought you were fucking smart with those Temu drones, you little shit.
Yeah.
Like, you know, might be what we're seeing.
Damn, dude, that's a perfect South Park episode.
That really is, dude. Hey, if they take it, they stole it from us. We're suing.
True, they're gonna have Mickey Mouse tied into that shit.
Hey, motherfucker! Took it out, Temu right now. Come on, Jeff. Gotta get these goddamn chinks in order. I don't know. I swear to God, if it comes out, man, we gotta drop a lawsuit. Yeah. But actually, I wouldn't. You know what? I would sue him in court. I'd be like, if they stole like some of our ideas and some of the shit we were doing, I would actually sue him in court. But what I would want, I think you would agree with this, as payment, is we don't want money. We don't want anything. We can settle out of court for this. You bring me and Moses in as guest writers on one episode.
Or I would be down with that, or
have us in the show?
Yes. Yeah.
That would be fucking cool, man. I'd be like, fuck yeah, dude.
Bring back the Coon and Friends, and Cartman is pissed because we stole his logo. Like, he's like trying to sue us.
Dude, they might be down for that shit. Be like, fuck, dude, those are cool dudes, man. I like those guys. Just sue them just to get their attention, just to fucking do it. You know? Be like, I don't really want to cost you
like,
money.
No, be like, we love you guys, but
yeah, I just want to be. That's like one of my like Make-A-Wish dreams, man. Like fucking just be a guest writer on one of their shows, man. Be like, fuck it. You don't have to credit me, dude. Just put me in the room for like that week or whatever they write, and I'd be like, hell yeah, let's do this shit. But I don't know, man. I guess that's a fucking wrap for the episode, man.
Been another great week.
Fuck yeah, dude. I'm getting excited, man. January 20th is getting closer and closer. We're about to see some crazy shit, man. But anyway, thanks guys for tuning into another episode of the Dumpster Diaries Podcast. As always, I'm Justin Allen, and this is my buddy Moses Wartooth. Tune in every Monday. We have an episode for you. Take care, guys.